chat with Jay's team. Jay Shetty's team. I'm sitting here talking to him. Zahara, her and I were talking for a while. She's so nice. She's so freaking nice. Guys, I probably should put my hair down. Look like I'm going for a beehive. Waiting for him to call. Oh, wait. I'm trying to fix that. There we go. Finally, stop snowing.
For now.
For now, I know. Like an hour, it'll start blizzarding. Blizzarding again. Is that even a word? Hi guys, we're just waiting for set this here. Cordy, you comb it 100 times a day. Hello. Hello. Oh, you're fine. I'm not worried. No. I am very relaxed. I'm very relaxed. Like Jello. Like Jello relaxed. Sure, let's spice it up a bit. Kalinian. Uh-huh. Sure, we have alcohol through our blood. We spice it up a bit. Lots of stuff I love.
let's pass it on.
Trying to find a
18-year-old
speaker.
Sarah Grecian.
My twin brother Jacob has an autism spectrum disorder. He didn't have any friends,
So Sarah took action. She started Score a Friend.
including people with differences. It's the right thing to do.
The inclusion is in you. Now pass it on from passiton.com. And welcome to Elevated Radio. My name is Rick Delgado. I'm your host, and welcome to another great edition of Spirit Talk Live with very, very lovely and talented Christina K. Watts. Christina, how are you there?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm still kind of just like Jello, mellowed out.
Yeah, we were talking about that, and I'll reveal what you were saying in just a few moments. I'll just say it now. I asked, okay, so you said you were relaxed like Jello. I said Jello shot. You said, yeah, bring it on.
Spice it up a bit.
Right, which made me think, okay, well, since you're going to go there with it, Christina, do they have alcohol on Caludia?
No, they don't.
No?
No, there's no need for it.
You know, part of me is like, ha, I want to throw it in your face, like, see, we're better here. But now you're telling me you have no need for it, like,
No.
we're so much better than you. We don't need alcohol. We can do it naturally with our own mind.
Exactly, and that's what we're talking about today. Yep.
Okay. Well, then let's jump into it. Why waste any more time, shall we? Let's just get drunk on your Canadian.
I love it.
All right, well, Christina K. Watts, if you're watching right now on her Facebook page, of course, you don't need to know anymore. But I'll tell everybody who could be listening via the website at elevatedradio.com that this is Christina K. Watts. She's the Divine Medium. If you want to go to her website, thedivinemedium.com, you can reach out to her through there. Reach out to her, of course, through social media. You can give her a call directly as well. Not right now because we're doing a show, but at 814-254-4523. She's got a lot of great things going on. She's gonna see her on TV soon. She's got media. She's got the Soul Goddess course that we've talked about last couple of weeks. Lots of things going on, but she's been in deep meditation, she says.
Yeah, last 2 days, I guess. Since
Now,
Sunday,
deep
yeah.
meditation include tequila.
No, unfortunately.
I'm thinking back to the Jello shot.
No, it's just deep controlling of the mind.
All right, so what are we talking about? What do you mean by that?
Okay, so I've been in deep meditation about how the mind works, how purpose and power work, and I've been kind of on this journey for maybe a week, and it really kind of hit home over the weekend. And basically, we live in these kind of echoing chambers where we're being subjected by the same routine, the same people, and we're not being exposed enough in our environments. And it kind of goes along with putting new experiences before us, putting new people before us. And what I notice when I look around, and I notice this with like Justin and my family, well, her family, is that they live in these echo chambers. And okay, so going back, it kind of goes back to this philosopher by the name of Coley. I don't know if you have ever heard of him. But he had said once that I'm not what I think I am. I'm not what you think I am. I am what I think you think I am. So, so we basically...
So what you're saying is, it kind of reminds me of Robert Downey Jr. I'm making a movie reference.
Well, basically, it's a perception, right? We live in a perception of a perception of a perception of what other people want, even society's perception of us. And we never really get to know or really get to do what we want to do. And it becomes impossible for us to become what we want because we're going by these echo chamber of perceptions that are around us. And think of the monkey. Do you remember back through time?
Which one? Are you talking about Davy Jones?
Well,
Peter
society kind of tried to download this perception that we come from apes, okay?
Oh,
But
okay.
one of the biggest things I want to jump out at you is the FOXP2 gene. Have you ever heard of the FOXP2 gene?
No, but I think you're going to tell me about it.
It's found in our nucleotides, and it is something that sets us completely apart from other animals. And scientists have suggested that this gene alone is responsible for language. So this gene was placed in us with no evidence, no origin. It just somehow suddenly mutated, showed up, and is not in the animal kingdom, obviously. So this gene exists out of nowhere, okay?
You know what? Now that you mention it, I may not have known the name, but I do recall watching something where, there has been a question like, why?
Right. And it's illogical to think that we come from these hairy apes only to put fur back onto us. By making it. It makes no sense whatsoever. So society puts these perceptions that we're supposedly supposed to go by, and society is starting to kind of come into this mind frame that they're starting to set themselves apart. They're starting to see themselves as unique, and if you can become, there's three parts of becoming happy with yourself, and it's self-awareness, it's purpose, and it's action. And you can't take the purpose without the action. You have to take action on your purpose, and passion isn't for other people, it's for us. But we tend to use our passion for purpose. So our passion is for us, our purpose is for others. We're giving purpose with our passion to others. So it's becoming self-sacrificing. It's opening other people up to what we can provide for them and how we can serve and help them. So it comes back to how your mind works, how your thoughts are creating. It's following somebody, it's shadowing somebody. Like, if, let's say for example, you want to become a cop. You can't become a cop unless you study them, you work with them, maybe you shadow them, almost becoming obsessed with this kind of pathway, and then stepping back and saying, okay, is this really for me? Do I really want to do this?
Right.
And then it's coming to the realization of, okay, well, I want the end result, but am I willing to work hard to get there? So are you willing to work, are you willing to go to the police academy? Are you really ready to get up at 6 a.m. and run 10 miles? Like, you have to kind of think about what path do you want to go towards?
Right.
And it has to do with training the mind and coming to this realization of what path do you want to go on, and stepping back and saying, okay, is this path really what I want to do?
Right. So now, where is that taking us in terms of, because you said you've been in deep meditation. Now,
Right.
Is this because something has come up? Is something on the horizon here, Christina, that we don't know about?
Very much so. It's coming to this realization that your mind creates everything. You're training your mind for peace and purpose every single day. Not like a positive thinking, not this positive psychology stuff that you're just kind of, accessing in a moment of a time. It's actually building on this mind frame. It's training your mind and making it like a muscle in your body. Prime example, Matthew Ricard's study. Do you know Matthew Ricard?
No.
Okay, they did this scientific study on his brain, and they used like 250 or over 250 senses on his head, and they coined him the happiest man in the world, because he on the scientific testing that they did on him for over 12 years, he was actually giving off gamma rays in the study, which has never been actually documented anywhere. So to him, becoming the happiest brain on earth took work. He talked about, happy come up in your mind as being this huge aspect to being self-aware and being mindful of what you're placing in your mind, because your mind creates everything. And we work so hard on so many things in our lives, our career, our relationship, our communication, our confidence. We use all this hard work towards this, but it starts with the mind, does it not?
Right.
So
I completely agree.
right.
Of course.
So you're
And I think we all have those people, Christina, and maybe you've seen them as well that are very negative.
right.
And they come across, you almost feel it when you walk into the room. It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they drain you.
You can't have a cousin like that.
Right.
I don't want to call him out, but it's like, he kind of, he looks like he has the flu.
Right, it's like this negative energy that's being pushed out at you, but you are being self-aware that you don't want to absorb it. It's recalculating your own thoughts, not to follow in that absorption. So your thoughts are either uplifting you or they're destroying you. So which path are you gonna be aware of? Are you gonna be aware of uplifting and keeping your mind uplifted, or are you gonna allow your mind to destroy you and continue to take you on this dark path of toxicity?
Well, now, where is that leading us? Because, like I said, is there something coming? Are we supposed to be preparing for something? And I'll use your statement right there, about being positive. Because let's face it, there's a lot, at least in this country, there's a lot of division.
Right.
Unfortunately, it's being stoked by the media. I think I'm a firm believer if you walk down the street and talk to all your neighbors, nobody's angry. I think it's just the perception of the media which is pushing it.
Right.
And I think we're a lot happier with people that we know and our surroundings, and I think a lot of us are led to believe.
Right, and that's where I said about coming out of your echo chambers and, opening your mind to new perspectives, to new people, to, following certain, that's why Spirit created media for us. It's why they took us on this download to us to allow us to tapping into a different way of communicating. And I mean, it's there for a reason. Why not use it?
Right.
So, do your research. Like I say, for example, that somebody wants to walk my path. There's a fine line to what I do. There's a lot of hard work in what I do. And, they want the end result of, having all these followers and people admiring you and, respecting you. But it took a long way for me to work, endless nights. Sometimes I'm crying, sometimes I'm overly happy. It's like on a roller coaster of emotions, and then having to understand that, I don't have to deal with the human emotion, that I can balance that out somehow. I can walk away or I can get involved. It's a long road of doing all that work, and for you to just randomly pick somebody, you really have to do your research on who you want to actually go towards. Like if you want to become a president, okay, pick a president that you think that you would like to shadow. Who would you like to learn from? And who do you think is the best president of moral character that you'd want to follow? So it's really diving down deep and then standing back and going, okay, is this what I want? Is this really what I want?
Right.
Do I want to put in that hard work?
Well, and I think a lot of times people don't want to put in the hard work, Christina. They want to just, can I just have it? It's like, no. Anything that's worth having is worth working for.
Right, exactly.
And I think that gets lost on a lot of people. They think, well, if I just show up, I'll get the medal. No, it don't work that way.
Right, exactly. So your duty, your purpose, your duty is not to perfect somebody else's duty. Your mission, your purpose is to imperfectly bring your purpose to fruition. Don't make somebody else's duty perfect. Make your own, even if it's imperfect. Work on it. You're learning from your own purpose. You're learning from your own mission, and we all have this unique internal duty or an internal compass of calling that belongs to us. And when we live in alignment with that, then we can become who we're meant to be. But if you're aligning with somebody else's mission or purpose, and you're really not becoming who you're meant to be. And again, you go back to this perception of not your own, but somebody else's.
Right. Now, was this something, Christina, that you dealt with when you first stepped in? Was trying to, I guess, identify that purpose and work towards it? Because you made mention a few times that it was kind of a learning process as in the first, I guess, couple of years, right? That you were like, wow, what am I supposed to be
like
doing?
on your Travelers show on Netflix, they just immediately came in and knew. But what I'm finding with walk-ins is it takes a couple years to kind of figure it out where all the pieces are coming together, and then you have this aha moment of, wow, I just woke up and I remember everything, and the veil just kind of lifts and pulls off, and you know exactly what you need to do. You need to get on that mission. And what I'm trying to do is help people kind of pull back that veil and kind of see their power and purpose in their own unique internal compass. But what I'm finding is people either try to align with what I'm doing or copy, or they're trying to do it to somebody else. They're not coming into their own compassing, and they're not, because there's a difference between finding something and aligning. Finding means seeking for something you don't have. Aligning means you already have it within you and you're just simply aligning with it.
Right.
And what I'm finding is people are trying to seek something they don't have instead of taking the time to perfect their own alignment.
All right, I'm taking it all in. So now, does that mean that there's something different that's kind of happened over the last week or so?
Yeah, because there's been a shift with the 11/11, and it really kind of hit me last night what kind of has been going on, and in my own work, you know, I've strived to listen to Maria, even though I'm taking on sometimes her perspective, but then it goes back that her perspective is my perspective because of the fact that she's guiding me on my own soul commission, or my own contract. So I kind of have to step back and kind of realign with myself instead of trying to follow what other people are doing in society. Now, there is people that I align with the same thinking that I think are great, and I think, you know, their guides are taking them to newer heights and amazing levels, and I love sitting back and watching them grow. And my biggest thing is don't plant seeds under tree shadows that you're not going to stay. This just simply means don't plant seeds where you don't plan on staying. You want to plant seeds on the paths that you think you're going to kind of bring peace to, or you're going to do self-sacrificing towards.
Right.
And it comes back to helping other people, and I think this huge high vibration that hit yesterday, and it has a lot to do with me as Mary Magdalene and Jesus coming into fruition with this, is we made that our purpose. Our passion was our own, but our passion drove us to give purpose to other people, and I remember all that time, and I feel like that's what's coming into alignment right now, and I think it's going to severely hit. And I think a lot of people, their biggest thing is downloading. I mean, simply just watching a negative show or scary movie or negative news is imprinting. The slightest little thing is imprinting. And if you keep yourself around positive things, positive TV, positive news, positive movies, this is all going to imprint on a positive note and keep you on that path of staying positive. But if you just surround yourself with just nothing but negative and stuff, it's going to continue on. You're going to continue on that point.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting too, because I was going to ask you about that, but I didn't have to now. Well, actually, I still have to ask you about it, because you mentioned Mary Magdalene, which is, of course, if people don't know, that was one of your past lives, correct?
Right. Yeah.
And I've noticed an uptick in those pictures on your site.
Oh, you mean the video I did yesterday?
No, not the video, just pictures.
Oh.
Like, tons of pictures.
Oh, awesome.
I'm like, okay, something's going on. I'm going to have to ask her about this. It doesn't matter. Tons of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, a lot of artists and painters and people that draw that are actually drawing in the energy of me. And it's funny because we're finding art that looks exactly like me, and their main goal was to draw or paint Mary Magdalene in it. They're basically drawing or painting me because I'm here, and my energy's giving a face to who I was.
Right.
So I just find it kind of comical that all these artists are drawing and painting the same face, and it's me.
Yeah. It's you. And I kept seeing them pop up, and I guess I was watching, or I should say, a few of them were the same, but it just kept, they kept popping up. I'm like, what is going on? I gotta ask her about this. It seems to be an uptick.
Yeah, that energy's just kind of kicking it up a notch.
All right, so
Yeah.
now let me ask you this, because it begs the question. I don't know if anybody else has thought of it, but that's just because this is the way my brain works. Has the Catholic Church reached out to you?
No.
Okay.
No.
Do you want to hear from them?
No, I'd rather not.
Probably not.
I mean, if they were,
in the movies, they can be some scary motherfuckers.
well, if they came to me in a positive manner where they wanted to sit down and kind of be open-minded advice on the steps, if they're open-minded to listening to what I came here with, then obviously, yes, I would be more than willing-minded. They're sitting and going, okay, we need some room to learn. We aren't everything. Because what a lot of people do is they put this fake bulletproof vest on, which is the ego, and they think that they're safe, they think that they're confident, but their confidence comes off as egotistical, and they're really not protecting themselves. And that's what I find with people in this kind of line of work, where they are in these higher up positions where they have a lot of people looking to them, they have a lot of people respecting them and following them, but then they put this fake armor of the ego on, and they're not even following the way that they need to be going. So they're making all these other people follow them in the wrong direction.
Right. So now, have you, and again, I'm asking because I guess some of the things that you've said and some of the things that I'm kind of gleaning from what you're saying, was there something in particular that happened and somebody trying to, I'll just come out and say it.
Go ahead.
Beating around the, is somebody trying to rip you off?
Oh, no, not at all. No. No, I just, the energy yesterday was very high, and it threw us into this Taurus full moon that we're in right now with Scorpio, and I'm just really laid most of the day yesterday, and just kind of listened, and Jesus came to me several times, and he would pop in and pop out, and he would repeat things over and over again, or he would say a different message. And I'm trying to bring this whole kind of concept of what he's saying to me in one big kind of 30-minute jumble. But like, he's on the steps right now, and he just made a noise. I don't know if you heard that. Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Okay, Yvonne just did. Yeah, he just, there was 30 minutes. I mean, it's so much that we probably have about, 8 weeks if you wanted to go over everything. But to becoming happy, but being self-aware of the mind, and what does that look like, and how do you get on that path. And that's what I want to kind of bring to the Soul Goddess transformation, and I'm kind of actually starting to do that. So that's, I think, and it's already taken off. Everybody's already starting to see some changes that they're being aware of, and it comes down to being self-aware.
Okay. Now, I got a couple questions on your Facebook page, on your feed. Candace was saying that she was in a real funk for about a week.
Mm-hmm.
Seemed like not feeling herself, kind of emotional, and yesterday kind of snapped out of it.
Yeah.
Would that be an example of the veil lifting that you talked about earlier?
Well, no, that would be the Mary Magdalene energy that just kind of popped yesterday. And things kind of came into alignment. And the biggest thing that I'm going to be talking about after this show, when I go into my next show for the full moon, is that whole Pluto energy. That Pluto's played a huge role in the last couple months with people's shadow selves. And when it does that, it tends to be depression, to kind of make them self-aware. And that's what it was doing for the last week, couple months. Some people may have felt it for a week, some people may have felt it for a couple months, but it's been sitting in the background, kind of in the background noise of things, just kind of sitting there, making you be less controlling, less obsessive, making you face things about yourself that you didn't normally want to face before. So it definitely yesterday with the 11-11 energy, 11, 11, 11, 11. And 11 basically is the energy of positive, being self-aware of what you want to accomplish in this life.
All right. So 11-11.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that was a thing.
Oh, yeah. Numbers are huge, and that's how Galactic actually communicates, is mainly numbers. Music is very, very huge. And one of the things I kind of wanted to touch base on was sound design and cognitive loading. And
okay, now what is that?
Cognitive loading, for a while, I was talking to Maria about why other people are feeling tired. It just, and what basically happens with our brain is it's trying to process insignificant sounds. So like church bells, sirens, people talking, paper shuffling, typewriters typing. Just sound that doesn't have anything to do with us. It's not, has no purpose with us, and it's kind of like a bit of background noise, and your brain automatically tries to process all these sounds. And the more busy our lives are, the more it's going to try to process. By the end of the day, you're tired that it's processing all that background noise. So the biggest thing is changing your sound design. When you walk into your place of living, when you walk into your place of work, you immediately go into a mode. Do you ever notice that? Like, as soon as you walk into your office, you either feel ugh or you're like, oh, I'm happy to be here. Okay. And big thing is waking up with our phones or our phone alarms. Like, when your phone alarm goes off, you immediately go into this like fight or flight. You're freaking, I don't know what to do next. Like, your brain isn't calculating. So the more you're going to wake up more peaceful. Think of a spa. The sound design of a spa that is set up in a spa is very calming, very peaceful, and it sets you up for a restful experience or a peaceful experience. And you know the entire experience is going to be like that the whole time you're there. And it's bringing that spa-like sound design to your home, to your work, and bringing in these natural sounds and creating a space that you're looking for. And sound is so powerful and so transcending to the mind that using sound throughout your day kind of just transports your mind and, again, makes you self-aware.
Now, what if you're a terrible singer?
You don't need to sing. That's the best part. You can use meditation of any sort. Mm-hmm.
All right, so you can keep it to yourself.
Right.
Not everybody has to hear your horrible silence.
Right.
I know we're already out of time, but I don't care. Because somebody mentioned something, Rebecca.
Okay.
Well, she had a question. It's completely off topic, or maybe not, because we were talking a little bit before about the Mary Magdalene aspect.
Right.
She wants to know about the mark of the beast. Would you?
The mark. I mean, humans call it the mark of the beast, but we call it the mark of a change in the evolution, and we're hoping that it doesn't continue, but it seems that it will be. It's a mark or an implantation into the skin where you no longer need banks, you need your banks, but you no longer need your bank card, your checks, your money, and everything gets scanned right from this implant that's in your arm or wherever they are putting it, in your hand. And this is going to cause a lot of issues because eventually down the road, if you don't have so many points on this implant, you can't get certain things. So let's say you go into a coffee shop and you just simply want a coffee, but if you don't have the enough I don't know what you want to call it, popularity points, because it's combining with media. We look too much at numbers, how our numbers are doing, how many followers are we following, and that's breaking people down. It's breaking down the confidence in people, and what they're going to try to start doing is combining this implant system in with a popularity. So if you are not popular, you're not going to get the covering that you need, you're not going to get this or that, and eventually it's going to come down to food and people wanting to get certain foods. It's a mess. It really is a mess. It's going to be a mess, and it's going to break down people more. And again, we come back to becoming self-aware, becoming self-sacrificing, and breaking down your purpose for other people. Because if you don't do this and you keep going with the mainstream of society and what they want to do, what government wants to do, you're going to get lost in the shuffle, and it's not going to be a path you want to continue to go down. So the more people that listen to us, listen to me, listen to others that are speaking the same exact messages, because we all are on the same wavelength,
Right.
you're not going to get where you need to go. And
No,
the more
and
people
it's
that do,
interesting that she brought this question up because I remember seeing an article just recently about it, and it came out a few weeks back
Okay.
about a Wisconsin firm that actually did this in 2017. And for some reason, it popped up back in the news on October 15th.
okay,
Don't know why it all of a sudden popped in the news, but it did.
yeah,
And it's starting to gain some more traction again. And again, it's chipping. You know, they put a rice-sized chip, some microchip, and it gets implanted into your skin. And now, I guess, instead of having, one of those ID cards that swipes, they can get into a building, whatever, they just use their hand or calls or wherever they
Yeah,
get the, chip.
it's even going to come down to the fact of them forcing it upon people, not even in the workplace, because that's how they're kind of starting it. Oh, look how easy this is. Look how nice this is.
Right, and they're trying to make it, well, it makes life
Easier, right.
You know,
And they're going to have your, right.
It's going to reduce friction. You're going to have access to the entire thing.
Uh-huh.
All you got to do is wave your hand. Boom,
Yep.
you're done.
Full records on there. They don't have to look anything up. They just scan you. And then it's going to come down to, well, you might want to get this because of somebody, because that's why they're honing in so much on sex trafficking. Our government is inducing this. Because they want to use this down the line of saying missing because we'll have them chipped and we'll be able to find them.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So they're going to use,
Kind of like your dog.
right. They're going to use any aspect, any path they can to bring this in. But the more people that become self-aware of this and self-aware of that they don't need this, everything's been going to change the outcome of where that goes. The more people that reject it, the more we're going to be on a better path.
Right. And you know, it's funny that you said, you know, oh, you can use this for your kids or something. So it's exactly what was written in this article here.
See, there you go.
Let me just quote it real quick. Since 2017, Three Square Market, I guess it's one of the organizations that offered this microchipping to their workers. And they did so at a Mexican company to keep track of top execs, you know, just in case they were kidnapped.
Right. Yeah, they're gonna pull on your heartstrings. They're gonna say, oh, heightened, and then you'll start to notice that the more people that get shipped, suddenly sex trafficking like takes a back burner. All of a sudden it's non-existing. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's anything to get people, society under a control mechanism. But if you are in control of your mind and you start being self-aware of these things, and the more people that do this, we're going to pull out of that toxic energy, and it's not going to go the way that they had planned.
Right. All right. Well, you know what? It's nice to kind of bring these things out into the open because a lot of times, you know, again, this article, it caught my attention a couple weeks ago, and really haven't talked to anybody about it. It was just one of those things that I read. I'm like, oh, this doesn't sound good. It sounds sinister. There's always a component where, you know, it becomes something to use against you.
Right, and it goes back to sex dolls as well, where they've got sex brothels with these robots, you know, that are, you know, it's desensitizing, it's lowering love to something, to an object, and just kind of pulling these different weird energies into play where, you know, love is being replaced with something else.
Right. Yeah, that's a great point. Again, we've been talking with Christina K. Watts. She is The Divine Medium. If you want to find her, go online. She's got a great website, thedivinemedium.com. You can find out about her, find out about sessions, check out the Crystal Cove. Right? You got the new website up for that?
Yes, I do.
And of course, if you want to become a student and take advantage of the Soul Goddess course, feel free to reach out going to the website, thedivinemedium.com. You can also give her a call directly at 814-254-4523, and also contact her via email, thedivinemedium@gmail.com. A bunch of different ways to get a hold of her. She's doing a lot of different things, and again, you're going to be seeing more and more of Christina as we go along. As always, Christina, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, you have a great day. We'll be back with more on Howdy.
Howdy.
Now, we covered a bunch of stuff.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Cool.
It was fun.
Very good. Yeah, so you've had quite an interesting week, I think.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it just keeps getting stronger. I know I'm going to be taking more notes tonight, and because it's so much information. If I don't take notes, I'm going to forget everything that they're trying to convey to me. So,
Right.
Yeah, it's been interesting.
To say the least. Okay. Well, good on
Yeah, I had to look up some of this stuff too, because I'm like, I don't know what the hell that is that. So I'm like, I'm looking it up, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes. Yeah, especially with people in like the cities and stuff. Yeah, the more you're in the city, the more this.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
So crazy.
Well, very, very good stuff. All right, so we'll talk next week.
Okay. Yep. Thank you.
All right, be good, Christina.
You too. Bye.
All right, bye.
It's hot in here. Freezing. Really? Oh, here, you want my heating pad?
I'm
like,
hot, so you know I'm cool.
I'm roasting. I'm seriously
I'm roasting. You're cool.
Yeah, it does switch. Yeah, but I think if I would be freezing had I not had this on though.
Oh, that's right. You had that on.
Do you want this? I'm not kidding. It'll heat you up real quick.
And I'll be heated up way too quick.
And then
Let me go unplug it.
Then you accomplished your goal. You accomplished your goal of getting warm. You'll have to rewatch, absolutely. Yeah, it was a good one, guys. You'll have to rewatch. But I'm going to shut down and come back in 20 minutes. We have the Taurus full moon in 20 minutes. And I will see you guys then. Thanks for joining, guys. Bye. I'll see you in 20 minutes.